And we are rolling. Hello everyone and welcome to the Great Movie Ride. Once again, my name is Ryan, and on behalf of Disney's Hollywood Studios and Turner Classic Movies, please welcome our host on this one-of-a-kind tour, Robert Osborne.
Thank you. We're ready for Hollywood indeed. What better way to start our journey? From the Old West to the rooftops of London and along the yellow brick road, there really is no place like the movies. One of Hollywood's significant contributions to the world of film were great musicals. This scene is from one of my favorites, the 1933 Busby Berkeley spectacular Footlight Parade. Here's one of the most famous of all dance sequences. It's from the 1952 musical classic Singing in the Rain.
Here's Gene Kelly singing in the rain, literally.
Here's one of the quintessential Disney musicals, Mary Poppins, starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. This classic earned 13 Academy Award nominations.
Chim Chim Cheree, I love this song. Sing along. Better hold on to those vaults and purses, folks. This doesn't look like a very good neighborhood.
Here's the birthplace of the gangster film, the seedy underbelly of Chicago, from The Public Enemy, starring James Cagney. Released in 1931 before strict censorship rules were enforced, The Public Enemy is a gritty, realistic, and violent look at the real gangsters of the Depression era.
I love this movie. In one famous scene, James Cagney shoves a grapefruit in McCloud's face. She can never look at breakfast in the same way again. Those tough guys can turn anything into a weapon.
Dirty, no good, yellow belly stool. The first time I see it.
Just a bunch of rubber-necking tourists. Shut up, you two. You want to blow up?
I love gangster movies. One of them. Got a point. I hate it when people talk during a movie.
Set up a flare or something.
Western films depict a legendary American wild frontier, where cowboys and their loyal steeds maintain order in towns against the untamable wilderness. John Wayne and Clint Eastwood are two of the iconic stars who epitomize this ideal of the stoic gunslinger.
Hightail it out of here. Go right ahead if that's what you're inclined to do.
The Duke and Clint have made some of the greatest westerns of all time. The Stagecoach, The Good, the Bad. Someone's robbing the bank. Not on my watch, Pilgrim. Sit tight, folks. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. Your guide will return momentarily. Remain seated, please.
Hold it right there, hombre.
Come on, you want to shoot it out of that? Yeah, what you think,
Reach for the sky! You're under arrest!
Huh? Nothing doing, little man.
Give yourself up! Making a judge easy on you!
I think it's time for a visit to a concession stand. Bye.
Nothing doing. Nobody's sticking my neck in a noose. Mighty fences sitting
Riding with me now, so hold on to your horses. Speaking of which, where are you? Time to saddle up and ride. Yep. Adios, stand horn and riding off into the sunset. Oh. The sun sure went in quick. No one trying to funny now. Just stay put. What in tarnation is this?
Science fiction has been a staple of classic movies, from Georges Méliès's The Trip to the Moon to George Lucas's Star Wars. In 1979, director Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver made audiences believe that in space, No one can hear you scream. This is Alien.
Strange. I don't like the sound of that.
Warning, remain in your vehicle. The area you are entering is extremely dangerous. Proceed with caution.
The emergency destruct system is now activated. The ship will detonate in T-minus 10 minutes. We want you to override all the fires T-minus 5
It's rearing up again. Joins my old partner Snake with you. Yeah, burning. I said snake, not snakes.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas cemented their status as the blockbuster boys with their first partnership. Here from that legendary collaboration is Harrison Ford as archaeologist Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Snakes. Why it have to be snakes?
Some of the biggest horror stars of Hollywood have appeared in the ancient story of a cursed Egyptian temple. A priceless jewel that beckons to all, but be warned, the temptation always leads to destruction.
Oh, looks like we hit the mother lode. I reckon it's time to stake my claim. Ain't nothing more than another ghost town. Takes a lot more of this to spook me. Don't none of you hombres move while I'm fetching that treasure. Let's see what. Belly full of lead.
I've seen enough movies to know that you really shouldn't even think about trying to steal that jewel.
Walt, unbeliever, disturb the treasure of the gods and you shall all pay with your lives.
For my first movie, huh?
The twist ending. That just goes to show you anything can happen in the movies. Now, let's get on with the show.
Oh, I see dead people. Things that go bump in the night have always been a staple of the movies. One of the first horror films was a silent short featuring a dancing skeleton, created by the Lemire brothers in 1897. Both audiences and filmmakers demonstrated an early interest in the macabre, but the term horror wasn't used to describe the film genre until the 1930s. Wow, it's a jungle out there. Where are we?
This is the jungle home of one of the most famous movie characters of them all, Tarzan. The movie's most popular Tarzan is undoubtedly Johnny Weissmuller, who swung through 12 films as the king of the jungle.
And over there is Maureen O'Sullivan as Jinx, and Tarzan's sidekick Cheetah, who's been portrayed by over a dozen different chimpanzee actors throughout the years. You know, the jungle has always been the perfect backdrop for great adventure movies. Think about the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark with the intrepid archaeologist Indiana Jones braving the thick to steal the golden idol. Or how about that spooky jungle battlefield where Arnold Schwarzenegger battles the Predator? Get to the chopper. Johnny Weissmuller helped pave the way for this spine-tingling genre with his portrayal as Tarzan.
Humphrey Bogart in his most famous film role. In 1942, Bogey finally got to spread his wings and romance the beautiful Ingrid Bergman in Casablanca.
Inside of us, we both know you belong to Victor. It's work, the thing that keeps him going. That plan leaves the ground and will not live it better. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, the rest of your life. You'll always have past. You didn't have it. You lost it until you came to Casablanca. You got it back last night. I've got a job to do too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble. But it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that.
And now, one of the most famous movie stars in one of his greatest roles, Mickey Mouse, is the Sorcerer's Apprentice in Fantasia.
When this film was released in 1940, Walt Disney promised to add new musical sequences in the future. His nephew Roy kept that promise 60 years later with the release of Fantasia in 2000. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
We come over the rainbow and into one of the most beloved and most watched films in movie history, The Wizard of Oz.
The wicked old witch at last is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. She's gone, let go, let's go, we all go home. That's all we can say. And ring the bells are full. We got the winter Wednesday night on. We got the winter Wednesday night.
Who killed my sister? Who killed the Witch of the East? Was it you? Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too. Very well. I'll bide my time. But just try to stay out of my way. Just try. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
I wonder how we get out of here. What do you folks think? Which way do we go?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick. Now, why didn't I think of that? Sing along, folks. You know the words.
From all of us here at Disney's Hollywood Studios and Turner Classic Movies, we hope you've enjoyed our tour through some of my favorite films. But remember, there are many more adventures waiting for you every day on TCM.
We didn't need dialogue. We had to face it.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Step inside!
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner.
Is it safe?
Look at you run! I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I'm a man. Well, nobody's perfect. Shut up.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Good morning, Vietnam!
He's looking at you, kid.
Find many more beloved stories and legendary stars on Turner Classic Movies.
On behalf of Disney's Hollywood Studios and Turner Classic Movies, we'd like to thank you for joining us on the Great Movie Ride. Now please remain seated until the vehicle comes to a complete stop, and please gather your belongings and take small